Alrighty, you may introduce yourself.
Okay, cool. I'm Joergen Steinset. I come from a town called Florø, which is a coast town of Norway. It's like 10,000 people there. Really small compared to Prescott. I come from which is in Norway. I'm an exchange student and I've been there for 8 months. I'm thriving and I have a good time, and even though it's very different from what I thought it was going to be. I heard a lot about Arizona and being conservative and very different from what I'm used to back in Norway. But yeah, it's really a great experience, and I've learned a lot. One of my most valuable years ever.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
And what kind of level have you finished in your schools in Norway? I mean, what grades? What grade?
I have 1 year left of high school.
Okay, so this is sort of like a flexible year. You've taken a year off.
I'm not taking a year off.
Do you get credit for these classes when you go back to Norway?
We don't have credit the same way as you guys, but I have to take the certain subjects and certain levels to get my year accepted, kind of.
Okay.
So now I can just go right ahead to my last year.
So this could help you.
Yeah, this helps a lot, especially my English, which you guys.
How long have you been speaking English?
I started learning English in first grade.
Like
Since I was
6 years old? Okay. Does your mom and dad speak English?
Yeah, everyone in Norway speaks English, but to a certain degree.
What other languages are in Norway?
It's Norwegian. We have French and German and Spanish, same as you guys. Not Japanese though.
Okay.
In high school. But that's mostly, nobody speaks it fluent unless you're Spanish or takes a year abroad, I guess.
So learning English is absolutely normal in
Yeah,
Norway.
since this is such a small country, we needed to adapt to the international society, I guess.
I have about 3 Norwegian friends who are in the Army that I met when I was stationed in Bosnia. Actually a general and a colonel and a major. But they said unless you were fluent, and they use the word fluent in English, that you could not be in the upper levels of the military because you had to communicate to all the other countries.
Especially if you go to Bosnia or other international. And I think the military is based on English communication, mostly.
How did you get here in Prescott?
It was really a huge amount of exchange students applying this year, so I was really lucky to come here at all. I didn't have any options, and the first family that came up, I just said yes and went here. So,
What's been your biggest surprise?
my biggest surprise, in the beginning, or like my family is a really, really Christian family, really, I'm not sure if Brad.
Religious.
Yeah, really conservative. And I don't know if you guys know much about Norway, but that's pretty much as liberal as you can get it. So it's been a really tough task to adapt to that, to respect it, and to criticize it without being blasphemic, I guess.
That's good.
And,
That's why you go visit different countries.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've learned so much about it, and being able to adapt has been one of the shocks, but also one of the great improvements that I bring on back. Also, like the cowboy thing here with trucks and guns and watching Fox News and stuff like that.
But there's nothing unusual about that to us.
It's kind of normal here in Prescott. So yeah, I'm not really loud, or I'm not speaking out about my opinions very much because I always.
You don't want to get shot.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No, that's why you go visit other countries, and even America, right? Different parts of America are as different as countries in Europe.
Yeah.
So all right, so then having to adjust to the American way of doing religion is different. What about the things we eat?
Well, there's fast food everywhere.
That's not prevalent in Norway?
It is present, or prevalent, or what's it called?
Common.
It's not common. Most people cook at home, and there's fast food. There's McDonald's, there's Burger King, and all those big chains, but mostly in the big cities. Very seldom you find them in small cities.
Do you eat more fish? And
We eat a lot of fish, especially as we live by the coast. We often fish ourselves. We eat a lot of deer.
do you go hunting in Norway?
I don't, but most of my family does.
What do you hunt with? That's a good idea.
It's mostly rifles and shotguns.
So-
It depends. Shotguns for smaller animals like birds and rats. Okay.
Do you go bow hunting at all?
I think bow hunting is legal, but for very restricted, not for deer hunting and stuff like that. I think it's legal for birds. I'm not really sure.
How big are the deer there? It's not the same type of deer we have here, right? I mean, like 100 kilos or
No, it's probably like they probably weigh the same as grown men, I guess.
okay,
Like 80 kilos or something.
okay,
That'd be like 170 pounds or something like that.
okay. And so then let's talk about the gun rights.
Gun rights.
Does your family own guns?
My family do not own guns.
So then how do you go hunting?
My family, my father and mother, we don't hunt at all.
But I mean, how does the
My,
family go?
what would that be? Other branches of family.
Cousins.
Like cousins and
Yes.
uncles and stuff. They hunt a lot. So, as you guys we talk about gun control here and stuff, and I heard a lot of resistance about it. I don't see it because that would just mean greater background checks and stuff like that. That's what I'm informing myself about. Yeah, we have really strict background checks, and you have to have certain licenses for hunting in different areas. You can carry a gun. Cannot carry them visibly, so people can see them and stuff like that. Police don't carry guns at all. Yeah, I think it's really, really hard to get an automatic or assault rifle.
So again, that's something different about America, that you come to Walmart and you see them for sale in our grocery stores.
Yeah.
That's unusual. But so therefore, in a lot of the European countries, you belong to a club, and you go to the club and you get your guns and you go shoot. Is that right?
There's probably shooting clubs and gun ranges and stuff pretty similar to here, but it's not very popular, I believe. It's not in my environment, at least.
Okay.
So,
What are your plans after secondary school?
after high school, I want to study biology. Maybe I'm going to go into the military, take a leader education.
You should have taken our class.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe I'll just see what happens after that, I guess. So, yeah, legal school system is very different too.
Okay.
You know, the Norwegian school system is built up on that. If we have a lot of private schools, the best teachers will go to private schools, and then they will get best paid, of course, so that the public school will deteriorate, kind of.
Mhm.
So in Norway, the private school is really something we don't like, I guess. And most of the services is within the public, like healthcare and yeah, you find very few private sector.
So do you pay to go to college, or is it part of
It
the,
depends. You can go to private colleges and pay.
how much would that be?
It depends so much. Just the more you pay, the better school, I guess.
Okay.
And but if you have the grades here, you get scholarships. But in Norway, that would be free.
Free for college.
Yeah, if you have the grades.
You have to have good grades.
So you have to apply and you have to
I know in some European countries, they test you at like 12 or 13, and the country or you choose to go to college or you choose to go to technical. Is that the way Norway is?
You mean like in high school?
Yes.
Or in high school? Yeah, we have, for example, here you guys have the Mountain Institute or something.
Right, for a technical, yes,
Stuff like that.
right.
It's actually pretty similar, though we have a fully separated ways of going to school. Like you can go to technical, academic, like marine-ish.
When do you make that decision? What age?
I made that decision last year, before I started last year.
So 14, 15, you make the decision whether or not you go to college or not.
Apply for which line you want to go to.
Okay?
So if you go technical, then you have 2 years of school. Then you have 2 years of apprenticeship. So then you go into a what's it called, business or whatever, and you apprentice for 2 years.
You're apprentice, okay.
Yeah, and then you
Like if you want to do plumbing or electricity or
Yeah.
auto mechanic or something like that, okay?
and academic, then you go 3 years, and then you have the possibility to go on for higher education in universities and stuff like that. So,
What's the tax to have free college? And I assume the medical, if you break your leg, do you pay to fix your leg? I mean, is medical?
yeah, you pay, well, we have insurance and stuff like that too, but you pay a certain amount, but very little. And then yeah, as I told the students there before we came, that biggest shoulders carry the biggest burdens. So there's a lot of taxpayers which support, and hair people are like, I don't want to pay for that, I didn't break my leg, kind of. But it's really a non-selfish system where everyone pays to the fellowship, kind of. So you get the support from the fellowship. Oh,
That's good, the citizenship, the community. What about the tax rates? Do you have any idea what the tax rates in Norway are?
My father pays close to 50% for income tax.
50%.
Close to 50%.
Americans are real upset that they pay 20%.
Yeah.
But you get a different product at the end. I mean, you get a different product.
Yeah, you can see the effects of that. For example, the high school pitch or whatever, the field.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have 3 artificial grass, governmental supported for everything.
For football or soccer.
Football or
yeah.
soccer and I don't know. It's, yeah.
Well, you pay more taxes, you get more for the government.
Yeah.
And we pay little taxes relative to the world,
Yeah.
and so we get different support. Okay, guys, we have about 10 more minutes. Any questions around the room? Ask questions, guys. Ask questions.
What do you think of the desert? Have you been there yet?
What?
The desert?
I hate the desert. I miss the ocean.
Good answer.
I don't miss. I mean, I miss green stuff like plants and stuff. Green trees. Eh?
Have you ever been to any other state other than Arizona here?
Been in Nevada and California.
Have you ever been like back east?
No, I'm not. I'm going to New York for 5 days before I leave.
How many people are in Norway?
About 6 million.
That's as much as Arizona, guys. It's less than Arizona.
So it's bigger in area, but less in citizens.
Because there's large areas of Norway that are uninhabited, right? It's very, very remote.
It's very spread out.
Yeah, very spread out, right. Ask questions, guys.
Yeah, Riley asked about wrestling and stuff. We have very different sports. We don't have baseball and football and what we call soccer football in Europe. Unless you guys, which is the only country that doesn't. Yeah.
What all sports do you have there, if you can name all? And like, what's the most popular sport?
The most popular sport for younger people, I think it's soccer and handball. Do you guys know what that is?
I
Handball? Yeah. Yeah, that's really popular. And
To
yeah.
those who like don't
Skiing
know what
is all-
handball is, what is handball?
Handball? It's like soccer with smaller people inside. You.
don't know.
It's hard to explain if you haven't seen it before.
Do you guys have volleyball there?
We have volleyball, yeah. That's really perfect too, actually. But most of us skiing. That is what takes most of this. People of the country, they gather around TV screens when they're skiing on television, for example. Olympics.
That's why you guys do so well in the Olympics.
Yeah. We do good.
Can you ski year-round in Norway?
You can.
Wow,
There's summer ski centers. That's mostly on glaciers and stuff like that.
glaciers.
Yeah.
So, if you feel like you wanted to play soccer or football, would you join a team that's for the school, or is that a city?
It's I'm sure there's school teams around the country, but it's mostly clubs. And I played for academy, and that's actually a private club. So it's private organizations.
What do you think of American football?
American football, I think it's so boring, so much talking.
You don't understand it probably, right?
I understand it, and I actually watched the Super Bowl back home in Norway, but it's yeah, I think it's really superficial.
Guys, that's a big difference about most countries in the world do not have sports at the schools. America has sports
Yeah, like
in the middle of the schools, but in most countries, you don't pay for that. Most of the sports are clubs, right? I mean, and so therefore think about how much money that would save America if we didn't have to pay for sports.
yeah. And I think actually that's one of the good things that you guys have.